Good morning, everyone. If everyone can just take your seats for this morning on this absolutely gorgeous morning. I'm so glad fall has come. So while those here in our audience are taking their seats, I'm going to say good morning to our Zoom family. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you in the audience today for being here and having faces for me to see. So I'd like to begin our service today with the lighting of our Christ candle. And for those at home who have a candle, I invite you to light that candle at this time. So let's take a deep breath and just let it out and go inside. In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest, pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us, the creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine, expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this presence in our companion Mother Earth and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. So we light this candle this morning as a visible reminder of the Christ presence expressing in, as, and through us in this present now moment. It is the truth. Let us own it. And I invite you now all to stand for our opening song, We Come Together. And get ready to clap.
Together.
Thank you so much. And as you're taking your seats this morning, I totally forgot to introduce myself to those people who don't know me. I am Patricia Haller. I am a licensed Unity teacher here at Unity in the Gold Country, and I am also the spiritual leader at the Unity Church in Clear Lake, Lower Lake. So I welcome all of you. So I'm going to invite you just to take a deep breath and close your eyes. Last week, Reverend Jerry shared a beautiful poem from Saint Teresa of Avila. And today I'd like to share a few passages from the very beginning of the book, The Way of Mastery. The first step in awakening is to allow into the mind this axiom of truth. Nothing that you experienced is caused by anything outside of you. You experience only the effects of your choices. The heart is that which feels things, embraces all things, trusts all things, and allows all things. You will discover that the pathway of awakening is not a pathway of avoidance, but a pathway of truthfulness. It is a way in which you will come to cultivate the willingness and the art of returning to the simplicity of empty-headedness and not knowingness with each and every breath. Not my will, but thine be done. For of myself I do nothing, but the Father does all things through me. Imagine then a state of being in which you walk through the world seemingly appearing like everyone else, and yet you are spaciousness within. Cultivate a deep love and respect for yourself, for you are not here to fix the world. You are not here to fix your brother or sister. It is only love that heals. Make your commitment to trusting our Creator for having set before you a pathway that will lead you home, and you will indeed arrive home. Each soul must come back to the truth that it is time to take responsibility, to learn to cultivate the ability to look upon the deep blackness of what is called ego, which is nothing more than that of denial. It is that which lacks light. Begin to bring light back to it by simply observing your own mind, your own behaviors, and your own reactions with a sense of wonder. The sense of innocence, and with a childlike awareness. It is time to step into the willingness to don the mantle of one committed to healing every obstacle to the presence of love that may yet remain secretly hidden in the depths of that part of your mind that would struggle to be separate from God. And last week, Reverend Jerry made the statement that we are attempting to place ourselves into the heat of God so that the holiness that is within us will simply thaw, that we will then live from that place of goodness, holiness, divinity, and of trust, faith, hope, and love. And I love that statement because within it, it will simply thaw. And when we thaw something, it takes time, but it's gentle and it's peaceful and it flows. And our opening to the fullness of the awareness of the God source in us can be just that, peaceful, easy, and in the flow. And now it's time for us to hold in prayer those that have asked for prayer of some sort. So we have Linda Bauer, Bob Castro, Dale Frank, Charlie and Will McBride, Judy Carnell, Lori Eaton, Jay Palmerino, John Giuliano, Brian Dowling, Alicia Clay, Sandy Spurgeon's mom, Gary and Fran Clay, Humberto Torres, Denise Mazzetti and family, and a special intention for a young family. John and Claudia Martin, Denise and Penny Matthews, Kayla, Paxton Baker, Dave DeGrasse, John Miller, Yvonne Bartlett, Tiffin Dillon, and of course, birthday blessings to Claire Palmerino. And we do have some extra additions this morning that just came in. We're asked to pray for Scott, Rumi Daw, Michelle Demarest, Patricia Catstrip, Anne Marie Jaggi, and Rhonda. So we hold them all within our hearts. And let's join together in saying this one statement for all of them and for anyone else that any of you, either here or on Zoom, want to hold in your hearts for prayer. So let's join together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as our lives, the all-loving goodness of God, and all is well. And now we have a reading of the daily word. The daily word for today is joy. A growing awareness of God's presence is my greatest joy. Let's join together in saying that. A growing awareness of God's presence is my greatest joy. Awakening from a restful sleep, I give thanks for the new day and all the people who will be a part of it. Although I cannot know what will happen as this day unfolds, I remind myself that everything and everyone might lead me to a deeper awareness of God. And this growing awareness is my greatest joy. Even if the day includes less than happy experiences, I will know the quiet joy and comforting strength of the peaceful presence of God that is with me always. I will rejoice today in being alive, able to think, to feel, to appreciate the sights and sounds and aromas that fill my environment. I will discover joy anew as I recognize each person I meet today as a unique expression of the wonder of God. And from Psalm 118, verse 24, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And now I invite you to close your eyes and go to that beautiful place inside one more time. And take this as a time of meditation. I invite you to just close your eyes, put your feet flat on the floor, take a deep breath in. And as you let it out, just feel your body relax. And let's take another deep breath in and let it out, relaxing even more. As we become aware of our breaths, we become aware of the energy that is moving through us. I invite you to feel your body as you breathe in and out very easily, very peacefully. Do you feel areas of contraction and areas where your body is relaxed? Just take a breath in. And as you breathe it out, send it to that part of your body that feels tense. And just feel it relax. And now I invite you to just move through your body, sensing the parts that are tense and the parts that are relaxed. And just breathe into every part that feels tense and feel it relax. And now if you feel moved to do so, just place your hand over your heart and breathe into your heart center. Does it feel open or does it feel contracted? If it feels a little contracted, just take that breath and send it into your heart. Just love your heart center. And as you do, feel it relax. Feel it open. As it opens, feel how more expanded it becomes and how much more your entire body relaxes. Just breathe into your heart, loving your heart, and feeling that expansion. Now, as you take a breath in to come back to the here and now, just know that you can put your attention on your heart anytime and any place, and allow that heart center of yours to open to the fullness of the love of the divine that is in you as you. And now just open your eyes and be back here right now, right in this place. And if you'll stay seated, we have our next song God is my source.
God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. Joy is my strength, joy is my power, joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, joy gives me everything I need. Love is my strength, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, love gives me everything I need. Peace is my strength, peace is my power, peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, peace gives me everything I need. God is my strength, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings, God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Thank you, Angela and Gabriel. That was beautiful. Well, good morning once again, everyone. We are on week 2 of our 7-week program, The Untethered Soul. Michael Singer calls our inner energy a great mystery in life. That every movement of your body, every emotion you have, every thought that passes through your mind, he says, is an expenditure of energy. And last week, Reverend Jerry spoke of the thoughts that we have and that we can be an observer of those thoughts. That every time we have a thought that we're trying to hold in our mind, but that other mind of ours keeps popping in and getting you to think of something else, it actually requires energy for you to move your thinking back to the thought that you want to hold. And it's the same with your emotions. If you're having an emotion that you don't really like and you want to change it, it takes energy to make that change. Singer says that holding thoughts, creating thoughts, recalling thoughts, generating emotions, controlling emotions, and disciplining inner drives all require sometimes a tremendous expenditure of energy. But the question is, where does that energy come from? And how can we feel drained of energy at one moment and then suddenly feel filled with energy the very next moment? So I think we all know that there is a source of energy that you can call upon that is inside of your own being. It's the energy of divine love. It resides in you as you. And this energy is always available to you. At any moment in time, you can draw upon it, and it just wells up, and it can heal you from the inside. When you get used to it, you can actually feel it coming up and flowing through this entire body. Sometimes it just comes up spontaneously. And what this energy does, it restores, it replenishes, and it actually recharges you. The only reason you don't feel the energy all the time, we block it. And we block it by closing down our hearts, by closing down our minds, and pulling ourselves into this very restrictive space that's inside of us. You know what? This closes us off to all the energy that's available to us. When you close your heart or close your mind, you go within yourself, you can actually feel like a darkness. It's like there's no light in there, no energy, and nothing seems to be flowing. That energy is still inside of you, but it just can't move through you to assist you. There are centers within you that channel your energy flow. And when you close them, there is no energy. And when you open them, there is. The one energy center I think we all know intuitively is about the opening and closing of our hearts. You know, when we're with friends who welcome us, support us, make us feel appreciated, our heart energy center opens up and expands. But you know, put any one of us into an environment where we don't feel safe, where we feel judged or condemned, our heart energy center closes down, and it closes down to protect us so we don't feel hurt or judged and condemned. The problem with this is that we then close ourselves off to all the other energies that are available to us. And that can truly protect us, truly assist us. The flow of divine energy comes from the very depths of our being. And it can be called the chi or Shakti. Here in the West, though, we call it spirit, we call it source. Some just call it God. You know, we can call it anything we want, but the bottom line is that this is beautiful divine energy, spiritual energy that resides in your physical body from the very moment of your conception to the very moment that you leave this physical body. It's always there, flowing through you, completely unlimited. You know, we can never stop it from being there, but we can definitely block it from moving through these bodies. The only thing that you have to know about this energy is that opening ourselves allows the energy to flow, and closing ourselves blocks its flow. So it's up to us to decide whether or not we want this energy to flow. And Singer writes, how high do you want to get? How much love do you want to feel? How much enthusiasm do you want to have for the things you do? If enjoying a full life means experiencing high energy, love, and enthusiasm all the time, then don't ever close your heart. Singer writes that closing down is actually a habit. And just like any other habit, it can be broken. You can actually train yourself to open up every time you see another person. It's just a question of whether you want to stay open or whether you want to close down. It's really your choice, and it's completely under your control. You know, the challenge is we've never been taught to train ourselves to stay open so that love can flow. We've actually trained ourselves to close down when we go outside, when we meet a stranger, when different things are happening around us, only so that we can feel protected. And just like last week when we started to practice hearing our thoughts and asking ourselves, who is the thinker and who is it that's observing the thinker? Then we can make a choice over the thoughts that we're thinking and realize we can have different thoughts. And at that moment, you have become in control of your thought and actually your life. And this is the same thing. We can learn to play with opening and closing our heart or any part of our energy field. And by doing so, we can come to understand what closes us down and what opens us up. And if we like the feeling of having energy, of feeling enthusiastic about life, of this feeling of having a more joy-filled view of life, then it's important that we keep our heart open to have this energy flow. And the more you learn to stay open, the more the energy can flow through you. And we can all learn to stay open no matter what happens outside of us. We can just make a commitment to explore our capacity of receiving unlimited energy. And it's as simple as deciding not to close down. But that does take a commitment of being truly centered within your own being. And just as we had to make a commitment to truly be centered and present within ourselves by watching our mind and thoughts at work, we also have to pay attention to whether our heart is open, opening, closed, closing, so that this energy can truly flow through us. When we open our hearts, we're actually opening to allow divine love to flow through us. And that is one of the things that each and every one of us are here to do on this planet. It's to love, and it's to be the divine love on this planet. The thing is, we close our hearts down not to be hurt, and yet, if we truly understood the power of divine love, and we were to stay open and allow this love energy to just flow through us, in time, we would come to understand that there is nothing outside of us that could hurt us. Divine love would dissolve all that energy from anyone else. And the more you stay open, the more the energy flow inside of you builds up. The more it builds up, the easier it is to stay open. And you can actually get to the point where you can feel this energy flowing through your hands, flowing through your heart, and even flowing out from your whole entire physical being. The other thing that happens when you keep your heart center open and having this love flow through you, it actually heals you. And Michael Singer is not the only one who says that if you keep your heart open and build up this love energy inside of you, that it actually affects your physical, mental, and emotional bodies. That to sit in this energy actually heals every cell of your body. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, Edgar Cayce, Wayne Dyer, Joe Dispenza, and hundreds of other spiritual leaders talk about this energy of love and the power it has to heal not only our physical beings, but our relationships, our prosperity challenges, job challenges, whatever it is that you have allowing this energy of love to just flow through you heals it all. One of the other things that I read the other night from Within the Way of Mastery was that when we can allow divine energy to flow through us, it actually reverses the aging process. I think a few of us could handle that. You know, it's interesting that we have many energy centers in these bodies. And yet the one center that opens and closes them all is our heart center. You know, we think about our chakras and we do whatever we can to open our chakras. We think about our meridians and we do whatever we know to do to open our meridians. We think about all the different energy centers we have in our bodies, and we do everything we can to open them, keep them open and all. And that the one that keeps everything open without any effort on our part is the heart center. The heart center is the key to everything in our bodies, our emotions, our thoughts, everything that's going on inside of us. When our heart center is open, all other centers must open. You know, as we begin to pay attention to our heart center, which is why I wanted to do that, you to do that during our meditation today, we actually begin to realize what thoughts or events contract our heart and close it down. And as we really start paying attention, we learn what it feels like to have our heart closed and what it feels like to have our heart open and expanded. And then we begin to look at what keeps our heart open and what closes it. You know, different experiences around us can have us close our heart energy, and yet other experiences just open our hearts and get that heart energy just flowing. And sometimes things happen around us that actually just trigger our triggers from past events that haven't been resolved. And when this happens, we feel our heart centers closing down, but we could ask ourselves, what's really going on? What am I really afraid of? And sometimes the answer is right there, and sometimes we have no idea. The beautiful part is, if we truly are awake and aware of how our body is reacting and how our energy is suddenly shut down, we don't always have to figure out the answer. Another thing about our heart center is that we can just go into a quiet place, take some deep breaths, and ask your heart center to open. And as you begin to feel this energy once again flowing through your body, you can just ask it to clear and heal anything from the past that is still blocking you. So as you just sit in this energy and allow the energy just to flow within you, it can literally heal all those blocks from the past that have been triggering you and are still running you to this day. This is how powerful divine energy is. And after a while, after you've been practicing staying awake and aware, you'll actually notice that as you begin to feel your heart center close down, you can actually just stand there in the present moment, take a deep breath, and ask Divine Source to just open you up and heal whatever it is that just caused your heart center to close. And let me tell you, I've been practicing that over the last 3 days, and it is amazing what thoughts come in that trigger my heart to close. And just taking that deep breath and breathing into my heart, I can feel it relax and open up. It has been so powerful. However, sometimes we're not able to just ask our hearts to open up and clear that energy. And it could be from past energetic impressions that are actually being held within your heart center. And they're actually locked in there. In the yogic tradition, this is what's called a samskara. And it's just a word meaning an impression that's locked in. It's a blockage, but it's actually an unfinished energy pattern that ends up running your life and just has to be released. So when you resist experiencing whatever it is that's locked in there, it causes the energy of these impressions to stay within your being and continue to run your life. Samskaras are every energy pattern that you have not looked at, fully experienced, and then allowed to flow through. They're locked inside of you. So every event, every impression that you've had that's not been fully felt and released hangs on. And this is where depression can come in. We haven't looked at all the things that have troubled us or are troubling us now. And so they just stay locked in and affect us. And even if you're not dealing with depression, your heart can still get blocked up over time. These energies just build up. It doesn't always stay blocked because depending on what's going on in your life, you know it can open and close frequently. And when you stay present in the moment, you can actually become aware of it closing down. You can feel it come down, and you can ask Spirit to dissolve whatever is in there. So if we could take time every day to just sit in the energy of divine love coming through our hearts, these impressions, these samskaras, the emotional events, actually begin to dissolve. And that's where the Vipassana energy or meditation comes in, if any one of you knows anything about that. You know, some things come in and get locked in, other things just flow through us. We have hundreds of experiences every day, and not every one of those experiences is going to stay within us. And the other thing to know about samskaras is not every impression being held in the heart is negative. Sometimes wonderful, joy-filled, positive experiences can be locked in there just as much as negative experiences can be. Anything that we don't want to release gets locked inside of us and actually causes a blockage to the flow of our heart center. You know, sometimes we cling to positive events because that event made us feel loved or appreciated, wanted. And when we don't feel that in our normal everyday world, we want to cling to those beautiful, joy-filled moments. The problem is they're in the past. And then we're not present to what's happening right here, right now with us. And so then we're not open to any joy-filled event that might come our way in this moment. You know, so whether it's something negative or something positive, whenever you don't let it just flow through you, you know, we're actually creating a blockage in our heart center. And what we want is we don't want any blocks in there. We want this divine energy to completely flow through. Michael Singer says that the alternative to either one of these is to just enjoy life instead of clinging to it or pushing it away. And if we can live like that, every moment is going to change our lives. He said, if you're willing to experience the gift of life instead of fighting it, you can actually are moving to a depth of your being that you may not have experienced before. So as we move through our lives, today, tomorrow, on in time, I'm going to ask you to be aware of your heart center. Is it opening? Is it closing? What is it doing? Can you just feel into your heart? Can you just allow the energy of divine love to just come through? And Singer writes, after you've put years and years into this process and learn to let go no matter how deep the pain, you will achieve a great state. You will break the ultimate habit, the constant draw of the lower self. You will then be free to explore the nature and source of your true being, which is pure consciousness. So if you haven't been reading the book, The Untethered Soul, I highly recommend that you do so. And if you aren't in a study group and would like to be, we do have a couple study groups still open. And if you would like to study on your own or with a group, we have some study guides that go through each week, and they're out on the front counter. So I invite you to pick one of those up. And you can make your own time to study and go and, do your own journaling if you want to. But I know that I did this last time that we did the 7-week program, and I believe it was 2014. And I'll tell you, when I'm doing it this time, it is taking me into a place that's even deeper than what I even imagined. So we're all here to grow spiritually. We're all here to become our greatest and most powerful selves. And following some of these lessons will absolutely give you a boost in becoming all that you can be. God bless you all. Namaste. And that brings us to our time for our love offering. And let's join together in our power statement. I ignite my zeal by focusing on what brings me joy. And so as we get ready to make our prosperity affirmation, for those at home, you can go to unitygoal.us, which is our website, and you can click on the donate button. You can also send donations here to the church at 180 Cambridge Court in Grass Valley. And for the rest of you here, we have a donation basket here in our front, and we have one back on my left side, your right side, by the double doors right in the back. So I invite you now to take out your love offering and hold it over your heart. And if you've already given for the month or sent a tithe in or had it done on credit card, just hold that gift in your mind. And as you place your hand over your heart, bless the love offering that you're giving. Any blessing that you send out for anything just expands what comes back to you. So now let's join together in saying our love offering. My heart is open to receive and grateful for all my good. I give fearlessly and with love. And so it is. Amen. And now we have a special song by Angel and Gabriel. May my heart break open.
As I lie here in the stillness of a brand new day and imagine all the possibilities, I am humbled by this life and by the part I play, and my gratitude just brings me to my knees. This is my prayer, this is my plea. Could you blind me to all separation I might see? Bring down the wall, let judgment fall away. May my heart break open today. May I comfort any broken spirit I might see. May I reach out to all those who've lost their way. Let me be the voice of kindness for a soul in need. Give me ears to hear and words to say. This is my prayer, this is my plea. Could you blind me to all separation I might see? Bring down the wall, let judgment fall away. May my heart break open This is my prayer, this is my plea. Could you blind me to all separation I might see? Bring down the wall, let judgment fall away. May my heart break. May my heart break. May my heart break open today.
Beautiful. Thank you. So just a few announcements. First of all, 2021 is our year of renewal, transformation, awakening, healing, and wonder. I got it. So we have a group that's called Inspiring Women, and their meetings are on hold because of the COVID. And they will resume hopefully in the spring when everything is gone and we don't have to worry about COVID. And I read a few passages from the Way of Mastery, and our new Way of Mastery groups have just begun. So you can definitely join in. They're at 1 p.m. and 6:45. So You can actually see those links in tomorrow morning's email that goes out. So if you'd like to join, just get on, click on the link. It'll take you right to the Zoom, and you'll be able to be a part of that. And Leslie has a note here. The books have arrived, and they are in the bookstore, so you can pick those up. So Tuesdays at 10 a.m., Reverend Jerry is leading a Zoom group discussion of the untethered soul. And says, how does our mind prevent us from being connected to our soul? And once again, that link is on that Monday email that will go out. So you can join any time for that. So our change for change for September and October is the wildlife rehabilitation and reliefs. So during this time of wildfires, our change for change recipient is this. For over 35 years, wildlife rehabilitation and release has provided a valuable service for caring for injured and orphaned wildlife within Nevada County and the surrounding areas. So any change that you drop into our baskets today will actually go toward that. And of course, this is a beautiful picture of Carly here, working her way up through the garden. And we're asking everybody to adopt a planter bed or a garden area. And you can adopt your own area and help keep our surrounding, we have so many beautiful plants and shrubs and things. They need care. That's all they do. And you can always call Leslie and work out the details. We do have 2 people, though, that are doing the heavy duty stuff, like pruning, trimming, feeding, and all that. All we need from you is little raking, weeds pulled, things on that order. But call and talk to Leslie. And before we stand to say our prayer of protection and all, I also want to say thank you to Gabriel and Angela for being with us today. Our sound person today was Wayne, and our PowerPoint was Kurt, so thank you very much for what you do. Leslie is going to be in the bookstore after service today. Kathy was the person that was coming in and welcoming you today, but we have several other volunteers around, and I just want to place my heartfelt thank you to everybody that is volunteering to help this service and this center stay as it is. So thank you all. Now let's stand and let's say our prayer of protection. The light of God surround us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, because I am, and all is well. But I would like us to finish that statement a little differently. At Unity Clear Lake Center, we say, and all is wonderful, and we shout out wonderful. So let's start. And all is wonderful. Yay, God. So now let's stay standing for our final song of the day, I Choose Love.
Always present, it's what I need now. this be the one we choose, love. We choose love. We choose
Thank you all for coming today. And I was just reminded that I forgot about our altar today. So I would like to thank Sydney and Patricia for doing this beautiful altar and flower arrangement that we have all been looking at today. So thank you, and all the altar people. So thank you all for coming. God bless. Have an absolutely beautiful day and the rest of the week.